folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And in today's video I've come to document the history of an old abandoned castle which I believe should be in this area here. I've just found out about this week and I think the area should roughly be here. I'm kind of between Letham and then the Aberlemno Kennedy Road here in Angus. And then the main road going past there is actually Montrose and then Forfar the other direction. So I think this is the right location. Apparently there's remains of a castle, like what had been a castle at an ancient time. So I just thought I would come on in here and have a look, see what I can see. There is, what I can see here, it looks like it's been landscaped almost like a quarry. So I'm not sure what to expect as I head in here. And I was told about a heap of different locations, so I'm just going to try and not get obviously mixed up with what direction I should be going. I'm hoping if I head on in here I see some trace of the history, but it could actually be further up the road that I need to go. That's the thing with these adventures, folks. Often I just head into the wild lands. Sometimes when you're trying to find one thing, you actually find other things that you never knew was there. I can see there's like beehives over here. Wow, what an area. There's been stones. This has definitely been a quarry of some sort at a certain time here. I'm just heading on in here, folks. I'll update you once I find something interesting. It's just mad. I'm not sure how far in here this path goes. Check it out, folks. This is mad. The sort of places I end up in the middle of when I'm on these adventures. It's unbelievable at times. I'm just kind of trying to read the land here, and what I can see is over the years there's been so much stuff dumped in here. It looks like it's been a quarry, and then it's been kind of like farm debris and stuff that's been tipped in. I'm just keeping on heading this direction to see what I can see, but there's just piles of scrap and piles of wood and piles of stones. And a few other just bits and pieces really, and I'm not seeing any remains of like what I'm looking for so far. I'm turning back around, folks, because I'm actually hearing them shooting. It's just mad. Unless you go places on a Sunday, you can't actually often see things because estates can be shooting. Check it out, folks, big chunks of scrap. But I'm just not seeing anything that looks like the remains of an old castle, unfortunately. Wow, I never actually looked on Google Earth or anything like that before I came. I just kind of headed here randomly. Often my adventures are spontaneous, and that's when you have the best adventures. Wow, folks, this is crazy. I've not found the abandoned building, but you know what I've found? A massive quarry. Here's the original quarry. This is what I was saying. I was theorising when I came in that it looked like it had been an old quarry. And just look at this massive body of water here. And like I suspected, it's been backfilled here, and you can see it. This massive quantity of stones. And then at the other sides it's sheer sandstone. Wow, what a place. I had no idea this was here. It's like a little secret pond almost. I can hear shooting going on. There is bird scarers in fields at this time of year. But I think what I'm hearing today is like shooting, which goes on a lot of estates. I can't even believe the size of this like body of water that's here. Check out this, big bits of hinges and stuff sticking out of the ground. Whoa, look! A duck. Wow, this is a serious amount of cement here. It's maybe been like a farm shed or something that's been knocked down. Wow, what a crazy route I've come, folks. So when I went to the far end of this place, I did see a pile of stones in the forest. Well, across there's like a small forest at the other side of the field. I love these landscapes. When I'm exploring, I'm imagining the quarry back in its prime. Probably, obviously, sandstone excavation going on in here. And it was probably quite a busy area. This almost looks like the bit I'm standing on has been some sort of track in. Look at this, we've still got the snowdrops out. And the noise from all the birds tweeting and singing, it's just incredible. Some of these landscapes I end up in the middle of, even if I don't find the exact thing I'm wanting straight away, it's cool just to see sometimes like that mad quarry. Yeah, it's just cool. All this stuff that's been dumped as well, it must be farm debris. Look at the size of these birch trees here. Right then folks, mission update. I'm now on the right track. I've come further along the road and those trees over there is where I was a minute ago. And now I can see another gathering of trees here, and I believe this is actually where the ancient castle remains is. So it's going to be so cool to go here and document this and see what's left of a time gone by here in Angus history, in a castle that we've never seen before on the channel. And this is something that I love to do. I love to explore things that I've never seen before. And this is just special, like an old castle. There was so many like castles and stuff in Scotland, and all the ones we visit, they're all in different levels of decay, but they're all from different eras of time, and I believe this one is ancient. But like I said at the start of the video over there, it's kind of between Montrose and Forfar, and also between Letham and Aberlemno in Scotland here. Wow, yeah, there's sort of like a path along here, and I believe this must actually be left like this for people walking to the castle. Wow, this is so cool to see this, folks. Shout out to Alan that told me about this location. Like, there's a few other locations I'll probably visit in the near future as well, which are pretty cool. Yeah, this landscape, like look at it, there's all this old dry stone dyke around it, and in the middle is the last remains of the castle. I think there's still like some stone arches and stuff, which must have been almost the castle foundation at a certain time, or like the cellar to the castle. It's crazy to approach an old abandoned castle like this, folks. Just check it out, climbing through the crazy wild landscape of Scotland here. That's how you can never stay clean on these adventures. You end up with all the green stuff off the trees and all over you. Anyway, this is so cool. I'm so glad I've made it here. When I visit somewhere that I've never been, I'm always just hyped like to see what's there and to try and paint a picture of the history and imagine the history of the land here and the people that may have stood within this castle when it was in its prime. And just imagine right now we would be standing looking up at this incredible massive structure in front of us, which over the years has just fallen down or been torn down. Wow, these are a lot bigger than what I was expecting to see. These are some massive remains right here. Wow, the structure's strong because it's obviously built like that. So maybe the castle wasn't above this, but maybe this was some sort of outbuilding. Because of the ancient history and the amount of years that's passed since a castle like this was in its prime, it's hard to even imagine how the original structure looked. But let's see what's left to document today, folks. Because, oh wow, look, it's got a cutout in the back. So it's almost like this has been some sort of cellar or a storeroom. Wow, look how massive these stones are. Just think how long ago these stones were put into position. Think how the world out that window must have looked when they were laying these foundations at this incredible monument of history. And it blows my mind every week I'm on adventures, and like there's just so much to still be found. Like there's always something new that I've never seen. And on a day like this, the water's just dripping off through the structure. Probably as the years go on, little chunks of this just fall off and crack as the structure degrades. That's why videos like this almost keep the history alive to a certain degree. You can see how it looked in case a tree or something falls down and smashes it. And you can see how it looks today. And it's just mad, like, the way these old bricks and stuff are built. And all that mossy green stuff's grown on top of it over the years. It's hard to know whether that's been like a plaster type of inlay it's had, or paint maybe at one time. Or that could just be years of that mould. It's so interesting though, folks. Wow, I wasn't even expecting it to be this big. When they were saying like stone arches, I was thinking small, like smaller than this. I'm going to get a photograph looking at this direction here. Think of the people that may have at one time looking at this windy over the wild lands of Scotland, and think how the wild lands have changed over the years. Think how the modern agriculture's taken over. Maybe at one time there would have still been agriculture, but a lot more of it would have been wild land, wild woodland. Wow, look at this, folks. This one looks like it's got a step or something going down there. I'm imagining these are almost like the cellars of the ancient castle. When the water's dripping off above my head and stuff and the trees are growing out, it's got such an atmosphere and such a character about it. And you can see how these front walls were built separately to these. It's kind of just been built on. Wow, what a mad scene, folks. I love it when the green moss is on the rocks like that. The colour of that there, it's just incredible. The abandoned history just becomes at one with nature. And just look at this. Oh my goodness, folks. Look at this. This is a live find on the video. I had no idea this was here. There's a little underground section right here. I can't even believe what we are witnessing right here. Look, it's like this stone here's been shaped. Yeah, I thought it was just the two stone arches in the wood. This is mind-blowing history right here, folks. Once again on the channel, it's just madness. Where does this even lead? Wow, there could be any sort of animal in here. Oi! Hopefully there's no wild foxes away to come out. Look at this interesting detail here, folks. Look at the shape of this carving. Look, I think at one time it has gone right down. But that shows there's been a massive like doorway, or this could have marked the back wall line of the ancient stone arch, which has now crumbled. And look at this, there's another stone arch here leading over. Wow, I'm waiting to get the torch on for this one, folks. We are going in to this dark void under this incredible forest ruin in the middle of Scotland. And look at this, there's actually old stone steps here leading on. Just think when these stone steps were laid. Wow, I'm climbing down through spider webs right here, folks. Whoa. So it's not as big as what I was expecting, but it's still as incredible for sure. See, there's almost been like a vent up there. Or, whoa, there's loads of midges and tons of water on the roof of here. Yeah, like it's kind of been filled in at one time. Think how many years has passed. I'm not sure. Some sort of cellar, I would say, like, but I don't know what that. Oh my goodness gracious me! I got the fright of my life, folks. Look, it's like a jawbone from an animal. Because I was just the way to say it's like there's been a burial tomb or something under the castle, and I saw that. That was just crazy. Yeah, the sort of places I end up in. Hey, what are we doing right now, folks? I don't even need the torch. It looked to me like there was a tunnel going in here, but we can actually see fine. See, probably I would say foxes and stuff's been coming in here and eating their tea. Think about the landscape and the nature that'll be around a place like this. And that's how you'll get the bones of the animals. Not unless the people in the castle were actually throwing stuff in here at a certain time, like a midden. Maybe once the main castle was abandoned, it was taken over by like bandits, and you never know the history of these places, folks. The different variation of people over the years. A castle like this would have been built way back in 1200s or thereabouts, I would think. The way it's constructed as well, it must have been the cement and stuff, eh? So it's unusual. Anyway, I'm wanting to get a photograph looking this direction here, folks. So for sure I would say, like, this place has been one of the coolest places I've been to in ages. But it's that thing, like, when you find something new you've never seen before, it's a proper buzz. And when I saw the entrance leading on down under here, it's just mad. It's crazy to think the people that may have been in here or stored their food in here. Yeah, wow. You can see the way it is built with these stones, most likely gathered from the surrounding area here. Anyway, let's head on with this adventure. I'm not sure what has been above our heads here, if it's always been open or whatever, because you can see for sure there's been that door kind of frame there at both sides. It's crazy just imagining like how it looked originally. Maybe this was fully covered above our heads. Look at these old stone steps down here. See, the thing is, this maybe did lead on a lot deeper, but it's maybe fully like backfilled. This could be a far deeper entrance, folks, because those stone steps may just keep going down, because they're right the way down to there. That's an interesting theory. But yeah, to the landowner and estate owner here, I come with the greatest respects. I love documenting the local history before it deteriorates or degrades and before it gets lost fully. And when I see stuff like this, it just keeps inspiring me to keep exploring, because it's just mad the amount of stuff that's just hidden in landscapes like this all around the country. And it's so cool to go on adventures to find it and record it. So let's head on with this adventure into this incredible, almost like, it's like a movie set sometimes when you're exploring a place like this. It's kind of what you'd imagine if like Hogwarts or something was abandoned. And nature takes over and the people from that time are gone. The places they lived and worked are just here as a skeleton of history to tell a small bit of the story. It's just magical. The way the moss just grows over stuff and the way the stones look after years, it's just special. But I have taken a couple of photographs, I'll include them at the end of the video. Earlier on in the video I saw a gathering of stones over in the field and I thought that may be the castle, but yeah, it turns out this is it. So I'm not sure if there was maybe a burial ground or something else castle related over at the far side. So there you go, folks, there's one final look at that secret entrance in this forest castle. And it's just incredible to see stuff like that. And I'm going to scout around now and see if there's any other little details on the outer perimeter here. Again, there was obviously a lot more stones here at a certain time, and sometimes in Scotland they would reuse the stones for newer projects at different places in the local area. And then items like this would be left. Slowly they would just like pick away at the stones and take what they needed. But it's only in more like recent years, probably like 1800s onwards, they've had more respect for the old abandoned stuff. In the Victorian era they started to really respect old buildings and abandoned things, and they used to actually try and restore them to a certain degree and keep them in the order they're in. And that's what we still see today. Some places are restored and other places like that would get like their pointing and their cement fixed just to keep it as it is so it doesn't ruin fully. Every time I look back round it, it's just like mind blowing. A secret underground world right there. It's amazing nobody's like built around this site or whatever in this area. There's just a crazy amount of daffodils growing here. And that shows the spring environment that we're in. I'm just going to follow along this ridge and then we'll go round behind the structure. Because I'm wanting to look at the ground above where that underground section is and see if there's any telltale signs of anything else going on. Yeah, so this mound here must have been the castle, or the castle remains. One day in the future we'll have to come back and check out that bit, the other side of the field, because there's definitely, for some reason, there's definitely been like stones built up in the field. Look at this, folks, this ancient dike line leading up beside the structure. When I look at that, I notice it's the same as the stone construction within that castle. So potentially this wall's been round here for a very long time. Not unless it's just because all the stones are that kind of flat way. I just heard more gunshots on the far hill. That's the reason I don't want to go to that secondary location over there. Yeah, check it out. This is the back of the castle here we're at now. See, originally I'm not sure like how it looked or whatever. But it's cool to see this and like just paint a picture of what's left. I've already said it on the video, but it's like crazy how many years pass and like what looks like a structure doesn't take long before it just looks like a pile of stones in the forest. I wonder how many deer have come along here and just ended up going straight down the hole. Right now we are standing above this underground section and you wouldn't even know, but potentially years and years ago maybe the earth wasn't over the top of it like this and it might have had a little back window. Sometimes underground areas like that would have been like an ice house or a cold storage area, but this was potentially from even older times than ice houses. The way the stone's carved though, an interesting detail there which I didn't notice. But see the way that's like sloped there around the corner. Oh, I've got spiders on my head ever since I was in there, folks. That put me right off there. I had a spider swinging down in front of my head. But yeah, an interesting detail. This wall here, you can see it's sloped, but the curve of that comes around there. So it shows this wall's always been that gradual shape, or else they wouldn't have been able to get down there. So it shows there has been an interesting detail of architecture at this like spot. Sometimes as well there was like follies built as well from estate owners. Sometimes they used to build places to look like ruins, but with this one it was a genuine castle. And I can't believe I had never been to it before. It's just so cool. This is the outside of that window and look at the stonework. I have to get a closer look at this. No way, look, see the way the stones is built almost like a bridge? That's what gives these places their strength, as well as the lintel stone. You can see these bridge stones at the top take the weight. The main load bearing weight of the top stones is actually over the edge. So then these stones here were just more for decoration, but still strength in a way, but no to that extent. It's just crazy the size of these stones, how they've fallen out and how it's degraded. But for sure there will have been trees that's hit it over the years. Because in Scotland here you get some mad storms, and this bit of land here is quite exposed on the hill. And quite often in Scotland there's old fort or castle remains at the top of prominent pieces of land. But there we go, another bit of history documented on the channel. Originally I stopped at the wrong road, but it was still interesting to see that at the start of this video, and then this, boom, bit of history with a mad little underground section, which we totally love on this channel. The amount of little underground places we've found on adventures is just crazy. Yeah, all this could have been castle at one time, or the stones I'm standing on could be remains of the old castle walls. The amount of moss on this outside wall is just crazy. It gives the land a crazy light green colour to it. It's just magical to see, folks. Anyway, on with this adventure. Look at that, the trees are just falling down and knocking the old dike down. It's good though that that's been left there and it's not been ruined or not been knocked down. And it's cool that they've not put a big stupid fence around it to stop people like exploring it and seeing it. Because when I found out it was there, I just couldn't wait to go and see it. Often it's like that, you live in an area for so long and you've got no idea just like what's on your doorstep. And it's crazy, like from here you can hardly even tell that it's there. Right then folks, that's me just about back at my car. I'm going to end this one here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll be back very soon with the next adventure, wherever I end up going.